Hi, it's Miles Red Songbird in New York City. You're looking at a photograph of the Father, the Son, His Son, Jesus Christ, 21st century form. His name is Gorinda Singh. The Father's daughter, Eve Evangeline Einstein, Guru Nanak. She was Guru Nanak as well. This is Adam, the first man, the first ape. Now he's evolved to a human being. His name is Michael Buble. This is Brian Adams, a vegan, a projection of Jesus Christ, Gorinda Singh. And again, this is Michael Buble looking up at the Father. He's Adam. And this is the belly of Eve, who's carrying twins. The father of the twin, the boy twin, is the Father, the Son, the Lord above, and the father of the girl twin is Jesus Christ. Okay, let me begin. The name of this video is Michael Buble's wife played him for a fool for lifetimes. Revelation from the 20th century Jesus Christ. I'm so grateful Giancarlo and Aria, those are my twins in my womb, have activated their powerfully good karma so they can have what they need to have a great life, mild red administered. I'm so grateful Eve's reputation, Eve is the same as mild red, reputation is restored. Her name has been cleared. See YouTube videos library, Mild Red Birdsong YouTube channel. I'm so glad that the fuck up was simply too much diversity. The fuck up between Adam and Eve was too much diversity. Eve was from the ocean of bliss, the ocean of light, a genius. Adam was an animal, dense, stupid. Michael Buble, Adam, his wife, this life, Lusiano Lopilato or something like that, called him stupid because she told him to come sing to their baby inside her when she was pregnant. I guess sing to her stomach or something, baby's stomach. She was in her mind, at least, making a fool out of Michael Buble when he came over, believing she sincerely, honestly wanted him to sing to their unborn child, which he did. So she was making a fool of him, you see that? She humiliated him, laughing at him for believing in her, believing that she loved him, that she was a good person, when in fact what she is came out of her mouth. What she is came out of her mouth into the world where their child could pick up on. She, Lopilato, said, laughing at him, "You're stupid. The baby can't hear you." Michael was ashamed, hurt, shocked, stunned, mentally numbed, decoded. In you, Michelle Birdsong. In you, Michelle Birdsong. Edic. Find truth. Okay, that's my edict. Michelle Birdsong is Mild Red Birdsong also, and she's Eve, the mother of the earth. Michael Buble, his wife's fool. Buble, he told the story when he was being interviewed so somebody could explain the meaning of what had happened to him. That she told him to come sing to the baby, and when he did, he called her stupid. That's the story I'm referring to. I can explain what happened. Michael Buble's wife, who is from Argentina, had been married to the Argentina dictator Juan Perón. She had been Eva Perone, the subject of the Broadway musical Evita. Her name is close to Eve's. See Eve, Evie, and Eva Perone, EVA. Michael Buble, first and true love was Eve, Adam and Eve. Eva Perone, now his wife, tricked Michael into thinking she was his true love, Eve. She thought him stupid because he bought it. Michael Buble's wife, Lusiano Lopilato, was Pontius Pilate. Pilate, Pilate. See how close the spellings are? Pontius Pilate, her name is close to Pilate. Pilate did a very cruel thing to Mary's husband, Jesus Christ, having him crucified knowing he was innocent. Just as Eva Perone did a cruel thing, marrying Eve's first date, her true mate, Adam, and just as Eva Perone personally called Adam, Michael Buble, stupid because she tricked him again, she has become habituated to being cruel and believing because she can fool the other, he must be stupid. Stoop ID. Stoop identity. Stoop identity, see? And talking to me, Eve, saint, you present identity. I'm presenting the identities of Michael Buble, Adam, of his wife, Pontius Pilate, and myself, the Saint Guru Nanak. Saint Upit, Saint Cupid, Saint Valentine has risen. He is Jesus Christ, Govinda Singh. I'm presenting the identity of Jesus Christ. He has come to let the world know that the Italian soldiers who carried out Pilate's orders were not guilty, not responsible for Christ's death. It's the responsible parties for Jesus Christ's death were the Jews who wanted to stay in business as banksters, doing usury, charging exorbitant fees for loaning money. Jesus Christ was blowing the whistle to make them stop hurting people like the traffic cop does to stop cars from running over people. The Jews were running over people who needed money lenders to loan them money. And of course the Jews ran over the rabbi of Jesus Christ to stop him from protecting the innocent customers. Jesus Christ performed a huge miracle. He made his death meaningful, a gift to the world, to all those who had faith in his teachings and followed them, who lived according to his commandments. Jesus Christ's disciples did not require justice for Christ from Pilate because they gave Pilate sympathetic understanding, because he knew Jesus Christ was innocent and he couldn't persuade the Jews not to ask that Jesus Christ be put to death. Pilate issued the order reluctantly. You see what I'm saying? The disciples gave Pilate sympathetic understanding because Pilate issued the order reluctantly. That doesn't mean anything. The point is, he issued the order, knowing Jesus Christ was innocent. an eye for an eye law, the law of karma, reap what you sow law, were not followed, decoded. For the Father allowed wedding. Okay, this is another thing they're telling you about, that the Father has allowed a wedding between Adam and Eve to occur. Okay, because that's what set the world on the wrong track, and them getting back together will put the world on the right track again. So the law of karma, of reap what you sow, was not followed. Okay, I said that. The humans, he allowed. Here, allowed. The Father allowed the humans to manage their affairs without his interference. They were not children. They were not slaves. He was neither a slave master nor a tyrant. Talking about the Creator. But Jesus Christ, Govinda Singh, has returned to the flesh to mete out justice. The world whose sins were forgiven, if, like the adulteress in the Bible, after being forgiven, she stopped sinning. The wages of sin is death. Though life is eternal, people have been dying because lower animals have been crying, because men and women have been killing and eating them, becoming stupid like them. You are what you eat. The animals were once humans, becoming animals, so stunned them and numbed their minds they cannot think. The animals cannot think. The humans who love chickens eat and become chickens. They don't have the courage to protect their women and children after a time. Some strong or stupid beings overtake the cowards who had been cows going forward, striving to become human, where one has a conscience inside their being to tell wrong before they do it. Stupid people do not listen to their consciences. They do bad and they die. The people who listen to their consciences become demoralized sometimes because the evil hurts them, though they have done good. They choose to die because they want to trade in their life on earth of injustice to go to heaven, where they can experience their reward for having done good, for their good behavior. Jesus Christ appointed Sherlock Holmes, Eve, Mary, Miles Read, all her experience in energy knowledge, to write up a Judgment Day report. Her psychic abilities, along with the astrologer in her, along with the psychologist in her, can discern with her judgment, as the Saint Guru Nanak Dev Ji, devotion to Jesus. Isaac's is example of how to live a perfect life, how to be perfectly good. No child should have to live without its mother, said Charan Singh, perfect living master of the Dara, for perfectly beautiful, efficient love of the master for his disciples. Until recently in North Carolina, about 7 of his disciples, those who had some of the most important savor, meaning volunteer jobs, betrayed him. You see, their disciples, Govinda Singh, Jesus Christ's disciples, betrayed him in North Carolina, 2018. Govinda Singh closed the ocean of light heaven because those disciples are not fit for the ocean of light. Confirmed. That means my phone rang Well, my phone made a sound when I wrote this truth, this fact. Now, it's now T for talk, S for share. Now that's talk and share. It's I talk and share. ITS, I talk and share. Heaven is locked. Nobody can go there. People better make themselves fit for heaven on earth as humans by stopping killing, eating, and becoming animals before they have to transition into animal forms for eternity. Okay, so that's the end of that topic about, let's see, I got one more thing to say about Eve trying to trick Adam. Pontius Pilate, Eva Perone, Lusiano Lopilato took birth as a blonde with a symmetric face so she could compete with the original Eve, Adam's Michael Buble's first and truest love, when she was projected as America's #1 sex goddess, Marilyn Monroe. You see that? Eva Perone is competing with Marilyn Monroe. Or Luciano Lopilato, Michael's wife, is competing with Marilyn Monroe because Marilyn Monroe's blonde hair and beauty, facial beauty, is associated with the #1 sex goddess. So she wants to have Michael Buble think she's the #1 sex goddess when Marilyn Monroe was Eve. So she's still competing with Eve, the mother of the earth. She tried to make herself a Me Too and Marilyn Monroe. Michael Buble, who was Frank Sinatra, was a friend of Marilyn Monroe's, and Lopilato's yellow hair does remind him of Marilyn. Adam apologizes for his wife and kids apologizes for having a wife and kids by saying in singing, I just haven't met you yet. There's no such thing as a coincidence. In his song that he sings with vegan Gorinda Sing projection Brian Adams, note Adam Michael Buble bows. You can see this on the video as he's introducing Brian Adam. He bows when he says Adam because he's Adam, you see. In as much as he's Adam, Buble is Adam. The song they sing together is called After All. It's obvious he's singing to Eve, the first human on earth, his first love. He sings, I believe that I can fall in love with you again. I believe that you can fall in love with me again. The reality is what you believe it is. Then all's well that ends well, said Shakespeare. Now Eve. Okay, so that's what I was going to say. And she just had a baby. Eva Perone had a baby. And Eve is pregnant. So she's still imitating Eve. And she breastfeeds. Eve always breastfeeds her babies. Okay, 3 Times the King is the name of this piece. My unborn son tells me he wanted to be my child because I talked to him. And, he's in the womb and I talked to him. Because he trusted me. I was chosen best mother in the world. Eve, mother of the earth, and because I had raised a boy who had been a king for 3 lifetimes. He's been King Arthur. My son, Sing Birdsong, has been King Arthur. King Menelaus, and King Charlemagne. And as Will write, he was a projection of Jesus Christ, King Charan Singh Ji, 20th century. My unborn son said, I raised a boy, meaning Singh, who had the demeanor of an honorable king. Jesus Christ, 21st century, appointed Sing Birdsong, King of the world. Okay? My unborn son in Immaculate Conception had been a rabbi, 1st century Jesus Christ. He was a 20th century king, Jesus Christ, a Maharaji, which means king, Charan Singh Ji, 3 times the king. He had said no child should have to live without his mother. And he said, I will return and we shall be together and live forever. Mainstreaming news to you. Do I have time for this? I think I do. The Horn News. Yikes, Barack Obama is not happy about this video. January 24th, 2019, by Frank Holmes, reporter. There are 2 things liberals agree on. Walls are totally immoral and unnecessary to protect average citizens, and walls are absolutely necessary to protect their own families, meaning the liberals' own families, mansions, and fortunes. Democrats have spent months, if not years, telling us that walls are offensive, racist, maybe even evil. They say it's wrong and not needed to keep out gang members, terrorists, and drug dealers. Nancy Pelosi even said any wall to protect America is an immorality. She, Chuck Schumer, and every Democrat in Congress have shut down the government for the longest time in history instead of giving $1 single to build a security barrier for your safety, but try to bring illegal immigrants onto their property, and it's a different story. Blogger Laura Loomer ought to know she tried. Loomer climbed over the wall outside one of Nancy Pelosi's many California estates with a few men she said were illegal immigrants from Guatemala. Guess what happened? Pelosi called the cops to throw them out. As you can see, we just got deported off of Nancy Pelosi's lawn, Loomer said. Pelosi may believe in open borders for you, but she's got a wall around her mansions, and she's not alone. So many open border leftists have built walls to keep out the unwashed masses that Benny Johnson of the Daily Caller started a whole video series about it called Walls Across America. Walls Across America. There's a poll in this article. Do you trust President Trump? Yes, said 73% of the people, 60,946 votes. No, said 24%. And not sure, said 3%. I personally trust President Trump because of the things he's accomplished and because in his past life he was a saint, the 10th Sikh Guru Gobind Singh, Jesus Christ's conscience. His first step, Martin's first step, the reporter's first step, was Barack and Michelle's estate in Washington, D.C. to see if Donald Trump told the truth about the wall outside it. The tweet said, Donald J. Trump at Real Donald Trump. President and Mrs. Obama built has a 10-foot wall around their D.C. mansion compound. I agree, totally necessary for their safety and security. The U.S. needs the same thing, slightly larger version. So Benny Johnson went to Obama's neighborhood to find out, but there were so many walls he couldn't even get close. Is there a 10-foot wall in front of Barack's house? I don't know, because there are like 7 walls preventing me from even finding out, he said. You can't even get to the front of Barack Hussein's house to see how big the gate is, Johnson said. He pointed to a security apparatus like he'd never seen, including 3 to 4 layers of fencing, some of it iron concrete barriers going down the iron, some of it concrete, and then you have multiple other concrete barriers going down the street. A Secret Service officer told Johnson if he tried to walk in the house, he'd be arrested. Walk to the house, he'd be arrested. The Barack Hussein's double standard is so hush-hush that even the delivery people who visit the area know to keep their mouths shut or else. When Johnson asked a FedEx driver about to deliver a package to the street if the Obamas had a wall around that yard, the driver yelled back, no answer. Okay, so that's that. Next topic, trending. We finally got it. New video proves Phillips himself lied about being a Vietnam vet. Now that's the Covington kids smear by the media about a Native American Indian who got up in the boy's face, and the boy just stood there smiling. So, polls, should Democrats accept Trump's compromise? Yes, 99% says. No, 1% says. Related. We're finally seeing the full depth of Pelosi's flight abuse, the Western Journal Conservative Tribune online. In 1 2-year period, Pelosi said the United States Air Force backed $2,174 in travel costs. Judicial Watch, Tom Fitton, President Eve's husband, president of the group that obtained these documents through Freedom of Information Act requests, reveals that the average cost of Pelosi to fly back to her district is over $28,000 per flight. To put that in perspective, a single economy seat from Washington, D.C. to Pelosi's home in San Francisco costs approximately $250. That's a big difference, right? Although, see, taxpayers are paying that for one flight to her district. This is what she should be paying $250 on a flight, on an economy class, on a regular commercial airline. Although a fine figure, domestic flight seems absurd. It isn't the most questionable expense of those 2 years. Over $100,000 was spent on in-flight expenses, which include food and alcohol. Trending. We finally got it. New video proves Nathan Phillips himself lied about being a Vietnam vet. See documentary on Vimeo called hoaxmovie.org. Shows how the movie puts out fake news. Okay, that's it. Mainstream news to you. Michelle Birdsong, out and over.